You know, a lot of people now, they start, you know, the young guys, they start working out at, I'm going for my pro card.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about a pro card. I just thought about the level 1 show and then the level 2 show. And then there was a level 3 show that actually turned you pro. And I just thought about the little steps leading up. I never was like, I got to be pro. I got to be pro. Like, it was just one step at a time.
Welcome to the Shaw's Ring Podcast. I am joined today by none other than Regan Grimes. Just took 9th place at the Mr. Olympia. Obviously, if you are watching on video, you can see the shape that this guy is in. How you doing, brother?
Great, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me on, too.
Yeah.
So
It's awesome.
you're good. Yeah, 2 weeks post Olympia. So just kind of actually after the Olympia, it was in Florida this year.
Yep.
Which is going to be back in Vegas, which is going to be great. And
Or get right on
thank
it.
you. And yeah, so I think it was the last year that it's going to be in Florida. So actually, we took a week after, went down to Fort Lauderdale. Actually had a nice little week vacation.
Oh, perfect.
Just after that long
right
diet,
after the show. Yeah, that's great, man.
We had a lot of restaurants down there and stuff. And then now we're back here in Las Vegas for 1 week and settled back in, chose my next show, kind of locked myself back in, and feeling great.
That's awesome, man. So what is the next show?
The
I
next
think a lot of people will be curious.
Yeah. Actually, we'll tell them at the end, so you guys got to watch.
Okay, you got to wait and find out. Wait and find out. I like it, man. So going into that, how did you feel? How did you feel this year?
This year was different. I actually did my usually I do a super early qualifying show, so I'll already be qualified, long before the Olympias. But this time I waited to the end. So
Because it was what, 6 weeks?
Yeah,
before?
7 and 6 weeks before I went over to Europe, and I did Italy. Got second to Nathan Diesha. So that was my main, competition. This guy's won over 10 pro shows.
And he didn't do the Olympia.
He
this year.
didn't, no. And it's funny because he was going to do it. He actually flew to the States, but then once he landed in the States from the UK, once he landed in the States, they sent him back. So he couldn't even go do the show.
That's crazy.
I know.
I was
hoping to get that, go against him one more time.
Yeah. Get that higher place.
He beat me in Italy, and then 1 week later, I beat him in Spain.
So you guys
So
are
we
building
had that third round.
Absolutely. No, that's crazy, man. So coming off of that, how was it trying to maintain for that 6 weeks? Did you feel good with that? Did you like it? Did you dislike it?
It was interesting because then we were able to overanalyze everything and kind of see where I'm at and what I really needed to do. There was a difference between, Italy and Spain show. We had enough to get the qualification, but we really had to bring it further down. So I was actually like 270 on stage in Italy and Spain, and I was 260.
Wow, so 10 pounds.
I pulled down 10 pounds of condition. Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So on that Olympia stage, all these guys are the best in the world, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like I needed to bring it down.
Well, I mean, I was there in person.
Yeah.
Right.
You're there every year.
Yeah.
I see you every year in the
row,
crowd,
bro.
Yeah, I see you down there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I try to blend in, but don't do a good job. Well, I tell you what, man, you look great on stage.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the package you brought, I feel like this year your conditioning, just overall, you can see the potential that you have, and I think that this year, in my mind, and I would love to hear from you, getting in that top 10, some of those bigger call outs, how was that? Was it?
That was pretty cool, yeah, for me because 2020 and 2021, both times. Of course, your first year, like 2020, just going in, and I remember clearly. I think I was number 7, and 6 and 8 was Phil Heath and Big Ramy. When you do their walkout, and I'm sitting there before we go out, and I'm like, I would just start laughing because I was like, this is crazy to me.
That's awesome.
Like I'm actually amongst these guys who I used to just be watching the Olympia every year, and now I'm here. And these are like the two monsters, right?
Absolutely.
And so just being up there, getting into that top 10 call out, being 15th both the years prior, that was my ultimate goal. Was to get in the top 10. And then to show people that, look, I'm here to stay.
Absolutely.
This is what I love to do. This is my sport, and I'm serious.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to show them what I had to bring that conditioning that I don't think I've brought to the stage quite there with the size.
Absolutely.
So I feel like I have a good combination of both at this show. And now next year, I just want them to be looking out for me pretty much, you know, when
Absolutely.
when I get out there.
Because you took off a year in 22, and you had done it 2 years previous to that, right?
That's right.
So it's like and that was a conscious decision to take 22 off and just get bigger, right?
Exactly.
So put on more. Well, it paid off, man.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Paid off.
Yeah.
I feel like it's such, like you're saying, it's just like a confidence builder to have that happen and walk out there and be like, all right, you know, because I think for you, at least I have heard, and I'm sure you have heard to some extent, like, okay, Regan's got potential. He could do this, like he's up and coming, you know, that type of thing. And it's like, I don't know, you know, sometimes when you're hearing that stuff, how does that make you feel? Right? Like if people are saying, because there's been some big name guys say that you've got potential to win. Yeah. Right. And like having that set into your mind. I mean, is it something where you're like, all right, now with this top 10, I can grasp it. Yeah, I can understand that. I can see where I'm going.
I think it's, you know, it's been a blessing to have those people say those things to me, believe in me, you know, maybe when I didn't fully believe myself yet.
Sure.
And you know, I think I've always believed in myself, but there's that, like, there's actually just that next step. Yeah. Where I feel like this Olympia gave that to me. Yeah. I put everything I had into this contest rep, and, you know, it wasn't easy, you know, and being at that level that you got to go to a different place, you know, to get there. And I showed up, you know, that peak week, just all I wanted to do was give my coach a canvas of the leanest, most shredded I could possibly be, and then he can peak me into the show. And I put everything I could into all those weeks leading up, you know, those 4 a.m. cardio sessions and abs and all that extra stuff. I knew that at the end of the day, when I showed up there, that I'd put everything on the line, and whatever happens, happens, you know. So I was more than, you know, confident and feeling good going into the show. Yeah. Knowing I couldn't have done anything more.
Sure. Well, and that's a great feeling. I mean, I know for me, competing in strongman, there was a year where, you know, I was building up, I was kind of coming on the scene, and then in 2009, I got on the podium, right? So top 3 with, you know, 2 of arguably the best in history with, you know, Zydrunas Savickas and Mariusz Pudzianowski. I guess it's not really arguable. Two of the best. Yeah. So I'm standing up there, but it was my first time making the top 10, and then I finished 3rd. But it was a very clear picture, and what you just said right now about putting all that hard work in and leaving nothing to chance. Like you walk in there confident, and you know it, and then you get a result that backs that up like that. And I remember walking away from that contest. It was over in Malta, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna win.
Right. You're like, you're standing right there. You're like, I'm gonna go home, do the work. I'm gonna beat these guys.
You're almost hungrier, right? So like if you put all that hard work in and you don't necessarily get the outcome, it can be disheartening. But I feel like just, you know, we got to get a little training gym session in here at Torture Gym in Vegas, and they're kind enough to let us set up this podcast right in the middle of the gym, which is awesome. Great. But you know, I can almost feel like this is the first time we got to train together, do anything. But it's almost like you can feel that energy of like, all right, man, I'm coming. I can see, you know, 2024 what I'm gonna do and where I'm gonna go and where I can get to. You know,
and the vision's so clear, and I think the mind too. You know, when you have that clear vision and the support system around you is so good. There's no distractions. Nothing can stop you. You know,
100%.
I just take advantage of every single day and check the boxes, and I'm just excited for that part as well as, you know, the actual competition. Every day is great. So.
It's I mean, it's opportunity, right? Opportunity in front of you, which is amazing. So when did you started bodybuilding pretty early, right? Like you did, I think your first show was at 19. Is that right?
Yeah, that was my first one. Yeah, my 19th birthday, actually weekend. So
that's awesome.
Right on, yeah.
19 years old. So you were pretty clear, like coming out of high school, like this is what I wanted to do.
Pretty much, yeah. I went to, I guess when I went to college, I had met some friends that were actually competing, and I went and watched a show, not thinking that I would maybe be, you know, that I would do it one day, but all my friends were like, that did that show, like, man, you got to do it. You're growing, you know, this and that.
And you were already training at that point.
I was training with them, yeah. But I was never like, you know, am I going to step on stage? Like,
Sure.
I just love to work out.
Yeah.
And see your body change. It kind of gave you that thing in the morning, you know, okay, to get the meals in, and you go to take your pre-workout with your buddies and go train.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that whole thing, you know, and then it just turned into, I should do a show, and I picked one just 12 weeks out. I was like, okay, you know what, I'll do it.
Just jump up and go.
Just jump and go, and that, you know, of course you get your challenges and the whole journey and everything, and then I get up there, and it just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
The first one, and it never ended after that.
That's
You know,
awesome,
I've
man.
probably competed every year since.
Were you paying attention to bodybuilding before that?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be watching, you know, the YouTube videos, Jay Cutler videos, and
What were the earliest guys that you would watch?
definitely Jay.
Was it Jay?
Yeah, Jay. Like,
Okay.
all those bodybuilding.com series that he had.
Yes.
And then those,
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
That's awesome, man. So that was like something where you were at least a fan of it. It
Yeah,
sounds like before you started and kind of made that jump. So what was it like getting up there the first time?
At my first show ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine the
Like, you just
feeling of like, all right, well, I'm walking out here like, you know, in posing trunks. And it's like nothing else.
So weird, kind of. It's a very different sport, right? Like,
Yes.
I have my family come with me too. They have no clue.
Yes,
What this is all about. The tan, you know, you don't even look the same
Yes.
color at all.
Yeah.
And then, you know, after the show, you're just young and you just go to town on food.
Yes.
Right? And you feel sick.
Oh, I probably eat everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's crazy is I did my competition in London, Ontario. So I'm from Canada.
Okay.
And across the street from the venue, there was a food fest going on.
Oh, that's crazy.
The
So
same
the show and then right to that.
Yeah, it was a bad recipe.
That's awesome, man. And I would imagine like you probably got some feedback early on where you had to see some potential in yourself, right?
Yeah, I did men's physique actually, the first in that competition. And then
Okay.
I did bodybuilding too, and I won the men's physique one, and I got second in the bodybuilding
So both in the same
in the
contest.
same day. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy. So both
Yeah.
categories.
Yeah, I just did. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll do both.
Sure.
And so from there, I was like, oh, geez, do I do men's physique? I did better in men's physique. Do I do that, or do I do bodybuilding? And there was a guy there that had been in the sport for a long time, and I guess he saw the potential. Like, you're a bodybuilder, man. Just go back to the gym and train and
Go that way.
eat and go that way. Then I took 2 years off after the first one, and I was on stage that show at 19 years old, 175, and then I was on stage 2 years later at 205.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
and then from there, I just
So you were in bodybuilding and then you did dabble in classic, right?
yeah. So
So you did. I mean,
I went
talk me
bodybuilding
through that.
Yeah. So so that was 2012. I was 19, and then 2016 is when I turned pro, and I turned pro as a bodybuilder. So I did the Arnold Classic Ohio. I got second, some big Russian guy, and I was like, you know what? 3 weeks later, Arnold Classic Brazil. So I went to Brazil, and I got my pro card there in bodybuilding. And then 2017, I did 3 pro shows back to back: Chicago, Tampa, and Vancouver.
Okay.
I actually got second in the Vancouver Pro.
So you're doing good.
I'm like, yeah. And then I ended up going down in 2018 to Classic, and the New York Classic Pro, and I won the New York Classic. So then I'm like, okay, now I'll go to Olympia Classic. And after that, just the feedback, just for myself, how I felt on the stage, I had to lose so much weight.
Because you had to probably drop quite a bit, right?
Yeah. I had to lose quite a bit. By the time I got to Olympia, I think I need to be like 218 or something.
So I mean, if you were having, I feel like you were having like good results within open bodybuilding. And it's like what was going on in your head to be like, I should jump over to Classic.
I love the lines of Classic.
Sure.
I like the Classic physiques. But I feel like just when I did it, I would have to come down, and my structure didn't look the way I would want it to look. I felt flat. I felt like I wasn't able to look, nice and full.
Bring the right.
Yeah. So for me, it was kind of a one and done type deal.
Got it.
Yeah,
So
Jay always said that to me too. He's like, "You're one and done, man. You need to go up." Like,
I mean, I feel like if Jay Cutler saying that, he probably has a little
I'll
bit
never
of knowledge.
forget those words when he said it to me.
Sure.
So it's always stuck with me, and it's just growing.
Well, I feel like you did it, and then okay, now you're clear.
Tried
Like
it,
yeah, right back in. And I think the potential is there. It's interesting, man, because like all the different classes, like watching them, it's kind of, and I know there's been some talk. I don't know if it's coming from Chris Bumstead or not, about him going into open.
Yeah,
I don't know if but it's also like the way that I would look at it is, I feel like your potential in the open, like the upside is so big there.
Right.
So like, why would you not want to
Go there.
Yeah.
Big one. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
because I mean, even the, you could go to the prize money, whatever, but it's Mr. Olympia is Mr. Olympia.
It's always going to be the big one, I think.
Yeah.
Like, and that was another thing in 2018. It was pretty new.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like a bit of not a sideshow, but it was not the main show. And
Sure.
I mean, we all, we're all bodybuilders.
Yes.
They just created the class so you could be a little bit more classic looking, or a little less weight.
Sure.
You didn't have to go against the 300-pound monsters.
Yeah.
Because that's different criteria. But yeah, for me, I think we all wanted to be in the open. Right?
Yes.
And they created this, which is great. But,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think that you're in a very interesting spot though, because like you have like Samson, and Andrew Jack, like those guys are, I guess body weight wise, a little bit bigger and tall.
Yeah.
But then you on the flip side, you have, like Hottie,
Derek,
and Derek, right, who are smaller and they don't necessarily have the, like, I'm going to say it, like the height really to
pretty
build up. Yeah. Like Derek, his frame is, I mean, how much more muscle can he really put on to keep a line?
Exactly.
It's interesting to think that. So it's almost like he would have to refine
that
and just get maybe leaner,
right,
or something to bring that package with. I'm sure he's going to try to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're in the spot where you're going to fill out your frame even more, but your lines are crazy.
Well, thank you.
Right?
Thank you,
Like it's, and that presence, like your presence on the stage, I feel like your confidence is only going to grow next year, right? And like when you walk out there, it's like you're going to be like, all right, look, like I'm here to play, right?
Definitely.
And that, I think that stage, just the confidence, like you walking out there with that confidence, I think is going to be one of those things. Like, all right, man, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you can feel that.
I do, yeah.
Like,
I can't wait. I can't wait to get back up there. Really.
Yeah. Like that hunger, the hunger
look
growth.
Forward to all the things in between, like just to put that muscle on.
Sure. Did you when you first walked in a gym, did you love it?
I think so. Yeah, from what I remember. Yeah.
It was just kind of one of those things.
Just a fun thing to do. And
then,
seeing your body change, and then eating, getting the food in, and it was just fun. Yeah.
I mean, were you?
The pump.
Because I know for me, like the first time I got in there. I mean, I was confident, but I wasn't, like, I didn't feel good about myself. And then you're walking the gym, you start working out, you start trying to eat better, and all the training, like everything, like it's such a positive thing.
It is,
right?
Yeah.
And so I know for me, like my confidence grew massively through training. Like, is that something where you're saying like all right, meet up with your buddies and train?
Yeah.
Like, did that naturally happen for you too?
I definitely gained confidence through it. I came from like racing dirt bikes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I raced motocross and played like hockey. So
that's what typical Canada thing, right? Yeah.
So I did those two things, and then honestly,
and were you competitive with them?
Yeah. So
okay,
we were very busy with that. And then honestly, when I stopped racing dirt bikes, just because injuries and stuff, it's such an extreme sport.
Sure.
And I just kind of felt I still loved it, but I didn't want to get hurt anymore.
Makes sense.
All my injuries are from that, and I got out of it. So then when that time kind of freed up, and then I was no longer playing hockey, I was like, geez, what do I got to, pick something up. So I think I actually went into like a boxing classes and stuff.
Okay.
First.
Okay.
And it was okay. A lot of cardio. I didn't really love cardio.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So then in the basement, there was, in this place, there was a gym. So, that's kind of went down there, did a little workout, probably didn't know anything.
Of course, yeah.
But I, trained biceps and chest.
Of course, as everybody does when they walk in.
Biceps and chest.
Yes.
There was no leg day to be found.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever, I would say, it's whatever you can see in the mirror. Yeah. When you're that young, that's the first thing you go to.
It was non-existent, I don't think. Because
yeah. You can't see it when you post. Yeah.
So
that's awesome, man. So you I mean, it's just gaining that confidence. Such a good thing for, for everybody out there that's listening, that, it's just building that confidence,
Yeah.
man, and like
It's a big thing,
the daily routine of training, it can add so much to your life.
So much positivity, so much, like you said, routine.
Yes.
You can't, when you're in a routine, you just feel good. Like,
Yes.
I love routine.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And
Well,
setting
everything.
and then
is
setting a
routine. Yeah.
goal. As soon as like we have these big events, right? And then there's that one big one a year.
Yes.
And we have to these qualifying things, and you do other competitions, and so you're so busy now with everything. But
Sure.
having all these different things in your mind that you have to look forward to, through the year, just keeps us going. And we always want to keep those in.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's exciting, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of goals, we did say at the beginning of this that you were going to announce,
Yes.
the goal, the big goal.
Yeah. So the next competition is going to be New York Pro, May 18th. So
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's
New
the next
York
one.
Pro.
New York Pro.
Regan Grimes coming to win that thing, right?
That's it.
It's awesome, man. I love it. I love it. So your goal, like right now with this, and I know we were kind of talking a little bit off camera,
Yeah.
is to grow a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Like going into that. So on stage, bring, like if you could look at the package you brought to the Olympia,
Yeah.
and you could say to yourself, all right, look, in May, I want to do this. Like, is there a like a definite? I'm sure you have a clear image of what you want to do and where you want to walk on stage there. So I'm assuming to gain a little bit, right?
Definitely, yeah. So we were about 259, 260 at the Olympia. If I was 265, but even just a little sharper,
Got it.
that's my goal.
Got it.
So another 5 pounds. I think it's 5 pounds in that time period. It's shooting for the moon, but I think we can do that.
Well,
Make
with
it
that,
happen.
I think with that, obviously positive mentality, but the hunger, to come in and put that work in, like I feel like that's only going to make it easier to work harder. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of get that when you get that little taste of what you want.
Yeah.
Now you're moving forward.
I want to beat these guys.
That's awesome, man. So that'll be your Olympia qualification then.
That will be yeah.
Get it. So what do you have to bare minimum? Obviously you're coming to win that, but look, you have to place what top?
You got to win.
You have to win
You
that.
have to win. Yeah.
Okay.
Because so before they had it where you could get second, you could go do the next show that's in line.
Got it.
You could get second, and then maybe you'd have enough points to qualify.
Got
at
it.
Olympia. But now it's you got to win a pro show, then you can go.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you're rocking into that.
Gotta win that
Do
one.
you have any idea of the lineup there or not yet?
No idea. I've heard some names, but not very many yet.
Got it.
I'm sure they'll roll out.
Sure,
as
sure.
Time comes. And then of course there's another thing. So there's New York, and then like 2 weeks later there's Toronto Pro. 2 or 3 weeks
Okay.
later.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even like to think that.
No,
You
you
know what I
shouldn't.
mean?
You
I don't even
shouldn't.
like to think
No,
about it,
no.
but-
Yeah.
But at home Toronto Pro, it would be cool to do it.
Sure.
Just back at
So,
home
yeah.
base. I haven't competed at home since 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to have all family and friends, everyone, that'd
Be able to
cool.
see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have much or many of them come to the Olympia?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I had my parents all come.
have they seen you before on the Olympia stage?
So they did in 2018 in Classic.
Okay.
But then 2020 and 2021
It was weird. Yeah.
it was a weird time in the world. So
Yeah.
they weren't able to come. So
Okay.
It was really really.
So
nice.
this was the first year.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
that's
to
so
have the
cool.
support
Yeah.
and all them there. It was really cool.
Yeah. What do your parents think?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm assuming.
I mean, they're still supportive.
That's cool.
The whole thing. They see how much I love it and how passionate I am about it.
Yeah.
They just always supported me through it.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, right at the beginning, I actually was in school. I actually, ended up dropping out of school and just, working out.
Yes.
And working some jobs here and there, and I just kept that fire lit in the gym and ended up making something of it, but
Absolutely. Yeah.
so at first, they're like, oh, he's, school, he's not doing the school. And it wasn't for me. I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I would actually skip class to go to the gym. So,
Yes. Well, I
and
mean,
I'm not saying you should do that.
no.
It's not,
Well,
but you got to find your passion.
This is what I was gonna say. Yeah. If you find the passion, you can do whatever
make
you
it
want.
happen.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest takeaway. I think is just finding something you love and just do it to the best of your ability. And
Go
when you
all
love
in.
something. It's come natural.
Mm.
If there's no bodybuilding is not a sport where you're doing it for money.
Sure.
When you first started, you're spending all your money to do it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
people at you know, at this level are still spending. You spend a lot of money, and
Yes.
you gotta love it. And
I was telling people, or people ask me, right? Because the food's a big deal, and it's nice now to be able to work with Trifecta to get the food. But before that was an option, I mean, for me, I was spending, probably $3,000 a month,
so much,
right?
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, literally $36,000 a year on food,
just food,
and that's not even including everything else, right? Like whether I'm buying the supplements I'm using or not, like
exactly.
all that stuff adds up so quick, and then it just takes time and effort, right? So like it's not an easy and cheap thing to get into, and a lot of people don't understand, and probably never will understand, like what it takes to be dedicated to that. So like you're getting the work in to basically pay for what you're trying to do
for your hobby, I guess.
Yeah. To try to open that door.
Yeah.
And if you are able to open that door, then it gets better on the other side.
Of course, yeah.
But how many people get there? And it's one of these things that, like, a lot of people will understand that, right? To get to that level.
And I don't even know if, like, when I was doing it, if I thought that I would even get there. It just kind of step by step by step. I never was like, a lot of people now, they start, the young guys, they start working out at, I'm going for my pro card.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about a pro card. I just thought about the level 1 show, and then the level 2 show, and then there was a level 3 show that actually turned you pro. And I just thought about the little steps leading up. I never was like, I got to be pro. Like, it was just one step at a time.
When did that come? When did that come? Like, how far down the road were you?
There's in Canada, it's regional show, provincial show, and you got to get top 5 in those two to go to the national show, and then you got to win the national show to become a pro. And there's only one guy going pro every year in Canada.
Got it.
Now it's changed, but there was only one show then and one guy a year. So I was like, that's going to be difficult.
Sure.
My first national show, I got 6th place. So that was devastating. I was like, shoot.
Because you had to get top 5.
Yeah, I got to go back to provincials and get top 5 and then come back to nationals. And I was like, screw that. I'm not doing that. 8 months later, I did the Arnold.
Okay.
So I had that option. I had to get approved by, the Canadian Federation to go.
Okay.
And I did that one. And then I was like, I was knocking on the door, got 2nd place. And then I did Brazil and then locked it in. So once I got a taste of that nationals, I was like, I'm all in here. I'm all in here. We're going to make this happen.
That's awesome, man. Well, you see that the doors start to open up, and I think it's important, for people to hear that, actually, right? Because it's coming in, whether your goal is to be the best bodybuilder in the world or best strongman or whatever it is, right? Like, you have to take the steps that are necessary to get there. And it's always the next thing that's in front of you. And if you like, you just said something really important. It's like, why would you ever think about Toronto when you have New York to do, right? Exactly. So New York, you're going to win New York. Right. So in your head, that's exactly where you have to go. And I would be the same way. It's like, well, I don't care what's next.
You're all in on this.
And somebody that's younger, even though it's like a qualifier or whatever, you're not thinking past that.
No.
Right? Like, it's you handle your business there and then
this one done.
Exactly. Which is the best. I mean, the thing is that it's better to do that, because then you don't give yourself a backup. True. There is no backup, right? Backup plan. Just go do it and win, and then handle it, right? Like, and then, the stage is set to get that job done, which is important, man. It's like, a lot of people, I think, sometimes will look for that backup and say, like, oh, well, if this doesn't work, well, why would you ever say it's not? There is no if. There is
talking it into existence is a real thing, right? You got to believe it in your mind, or you already lost.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I've learned that over the last just year, really, like how important that really is. It's just, it works.
Are you feel like you're hard on yourself?
I think all of us are. Right?
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
Yeah.
We're super hypercritical, maybe.
Like, and what I mean by that is, so like, you're coming in today, and you're training. Like, when you're seeing yourself train, are you, like, right now, are you happy? Are you looking and saying, hey, you know what? I'm not good enough here. I'm not good enough there. I need to grow here. I need to do this. Like, are you constantly doing that? I'm just curious. I'm genuinely curious.
Like,
I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer.
I think I'm happy with where I am, but I know what I need to improve.
Got it.
Like, and I know that I'm doing the right things to get there.
Sure.
So I think I'm in a good place,
Which is awesome.
Yeah. That I know every day I'm checking the boxes and I'm going to get that task done.
Like, is it hard
to be? Yeah.
And maybe like to elaborate a little more, like, is it hard for you as you're getting ready for something like the Olympia, right? And every day you're kind of like, you're sending progress pictures, whatever. Do you become numb to how good you actually look?
Maybe.
Do you ever?
Maybe, yeah.
Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
because what I would
in your head, right? Like,
yeah.
you send these pictures. Oh, I look terrible. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like, I don't even want to look at those again.
Yeah.
And then, and then maybe your coach is smashing you with like no low carbs for like 5 days or something. Right?
Got it.
And then you get some on the 6th day. Okay, 7th day you shoot those pictures again. Okay, I came to life.
Gotcha.
This is what we're actually looking at.
Yeah.
Those times before you're just depleting, you're not going to look good.
Sure.
You have to push yourself down like that to get in shape.
Well, and I know I guess the reason I'm asking is because, for me, lifts in the gym, stuff I was doing in the gym, it was never good enough.
Right. Okay.
Never.
So you could really,
yeah. So I would do something like, let's just say literally, and this is not kidding. I would do something that would be above a world record in training, and it still wasn't good enough. Right? Like, it just was like, and I had the guys around me.
But that's why you're the best, That's why you. Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking the question, just because I'm curious, right? Because it's okay. I'm lifting to bring the package to the contest, right? And you're trying to bring the right physique to the contest, right?
Same thing.
So it's like if things are good enough or not good enough, and I remember the guys that were around me training, I would tell them like we do it and then the bar goes up, right? So it's not like we're gonna. It honestly was like not celebrated.
Right. I was gonna
so
say,
it's just
pretty much like doing this crazy lift.
Yeah.
And not really a big deal. We need to get more next week.
Yes.
So this attitude, you're never good enough. You can. Would you ever find moments where you'd be proud in between?
I don't.
Or.
I think I was only a little bit, but it was. If anything, it was only a momentary.
Moment. Yeah.
Like that. Okay, cool. Now we're taking it up.
Like, well, yeah. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. It's a different mentality, and I think
that's what makes you a champion, though.
It's a interesting thought, and that's the reason I'm asking, because like you said, I think when I saw you today, like I need to pick my next contest, and so for me, like even if let's just say I won the biggest title in the world. I was happy that night, and then I'd wake up the next day, and it was like, all right, cool, that was great. Now we're moving on. Like, it's the next. What's the next? It's so never ever would I celebrate. Too long.
Right.
It wasn't like I'm walking around and you'll see guys that'll get a trophy or something, and they're for the next weeks and weeks they're carrying the trophy around, and they're posting.
Some people.
Yes. Yeah. But they're and I guess the argument would be are they satisfied? Right? So, like, ultimately for you, let's just say, and you may not be able to answer this yet. You get to where you're Mr. Olympia. Is that enough?
I mean, it'll be something like a dream come true.
Sure.
But
like, have you thought about it?
Like, for sure, the way I am, it'll be like, as soon as I get it, I'll you celebrate it for a night or maybe a couple of days, whatever.
Sure.
And you put that trophy up on the up on the shelf, and you'll be like, hey, we gotta lock that next one in.
I love
whatever
it.
That's for sure gonna be
your mentality. Yeah. And it's a weird one, and I think everybody reacts differently when they get to be the best at whatever they're doing.
I hope that comes true one day, because I mean, you've been there, you've done this. Yeah. That's how you responded, and
sure.
Yeah. I feel like that's how
I think that the thing is how I feel, man, is, I mean, you've heard what Jay Cutler said about you, right? And he told me, we were talking, and he said, if I could lock Regan away for like 2 years, he would be Mr. Olympia. Like, what do you think about that?
No, I think it's true. I think it's true. True. And I've locked now that I am where I am, and I've experienced this last Olympia, I'm locked in. Like, I'm so locked, like never before.
Yeah. How I have so many questions for you, but and we have limited time. But how do you think, because Jay and I were kind of talking about this a little bit, social media, right? Because when I was coming up, obviously when Jay was coming up, that wasn't a thing. Right. Like, so you're just locked in, you're training, the phones aren't even, like, we actually had a conversation that said, I didn't allow phones in the gym at all. And Jay was the same. And so it's like you close the door, and I would always have my own gym. So we would close the door, you walk in there, and the guys that were with me weren't even allowed to have a phone. I didn't look at my phone, so you're locked in. Like, how do you think that right now, social media, does it affect you? Like, when, let's just say when you post something, are you strategic about how you're posting? Like, as far as your physique? Because I would imagine you post something, and these people that really, does their opinion matter that much? But they're like, oh, Regan's this, Regan's that. Like, he's looking great, or he's not looking good, or whatever. Like, oh, the legs are in this, or the back's this, or what, you know what I'm saying?
Right, of course.
Like, everybody's got their opinion. How does that affect you, or how do you take that?
So that's interesting. I mean, as you know, you get to choose what you post, of course. But for me, I think over just this last year and a bit, I've never, you know, of course you're getting negativity, you're getting people posting stuff, and I've never really been big into responding to them.
Good.
I just leave it, like, whatever. You're just negative, and you're probably having a bad day, you know. So I just I leave it, and then but nowadays, I mean, I like to leave my phone in my bag for sure. You know, I've got my music on.
Well, we just trained, and you didn't pick it up one time, which is awesome. I mean, it's not that, you know, why would you? But a lot of people, man, they can't. It's almost like a constant, like, all right, I did this, and then, you know, instead of your rest period being maybe 75 or 90 seconds, now it's 3 minutes.
Lose track of it completely.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm just too hungry now. Leave that staying in the bag.
I love it. I feel like that's the right thing to do,
definitely.
You know, and then you can kind of stay locked in, because, you know, the thing that I have said a lot is, like, I really don't care about people's opinions that I wouldn't take advice from.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was going to mention that's like the only people in my circle. You know, I have a circle of my close people, my coach, of course, you know, my girlfriend, you know, my manager, and
absolutely
close friends.
Yes.
And these are the people, you know, they know where I'm at, they know where I'm on track, and they matter the most, you know. And it's
huge. I mean, it sounds
outside
good.
noise. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of noise, you know.
Well, you're gonna get
just stay out of it.
Yeah. And the thing is you'll get even more. You know what I'm saying? As it goes, it's going to be more and more people saying things and whatever. So it's like kind of taking that step back from it, because, you know, again, like, if you stay in your lane and do what you're capable of, I think that the results can be amazing. You know, which is huge, man. It's exciting. I'm excited for you, and it's been a lot of fun training and doing this, man. Like,
so glad we got to do that. That was great, man.
It's very different training style for me.
I'm going to try one of your back workouts one of these days.
I would love it. I would love it. We'll get have to get you out to Colorado, man.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I would check out your gym. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. We'll make that happen at some point, brother. Well,
Beautiful.
I appreciate you taking the time, Regan. It's awesome, man. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast, gym podcast, I guess what we're going to call it. But if you're not following Regan, please check him out. Give him a follow. He's doing some really, really awesome stuff. And I mean, no pressure, but I'm expecting big things.
Thanks, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So if you enjoyed it, please share the podcast, give us some love, comment, like, all of that good stuff. And hope you're all doing amazing. For now, going to be great. We'll check you guys later.